Hi everybody, it's Tatiana and this is Daughters by Paul Marshall. I finally finished this novel. I started it in February and had to put it down, and I was thinking of the issues that I had with it were just surrounding the bad things that went on Friday in February, but as I picked it back up, I realized too that it did have something to do with actually the story itself. This follows the story of Ursa Mackenzie, who lives in New York, but is from a Caribbean island called Triunion, and it goes back and forth between her living in New York, her experiences growing up in Triunion, as well as the story of her mother in the past, living in Triunion when she married her father, Ursa's father, and it shares with you her mother's past and a couple of other characters who have to do with Ursa's family as well, until it brings them all together when Ursa travels back to Triunion, and that is actually in the synopsis, so it's not a spoiler that she ends up traveling back to Triunion after taking a multi-year hiatus from visiting the island. The only characters that I really liked in this story were Ursa's mother, Estelle, and to a certain extent, not completely liked, but to a certain extent, her best friend, Viney. I did not like Ursa at all. And while I didn't like her, I could understand some of the things that made up her character and made up the person that she is, why she has an aversion to traveling and visiting her family, the issues that she has with her parents, with her mother particularly, and some of those are also issues that would go along or were created by those that she was in relationship with outside of her mother and their relationship with her father. Her father is called PM, or the PM. PM are actually his initials. Yeah. And he's called the PM because he is in political office. However, he is not in a position where he has much power, and his entire political career and journey has been an attempt to gain more power, to work for the people of Triunion that he has come from. Getting that part out of the way, some parts of reading this, while I was kind of enjoying the story, it felt like I was reading paint dry. And I thought that I'd gotten 15 to like the last 100 pages of the book. I thought I'd made progress. I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to finish this tonight. And then I looked down and I've only read 10 pages. How disappointing is that? And that's also why I think that part of the reason why I took this so long is not just because of the issues and things that happened in the month of February that caused me to just stop reading it. I have not read anything else by Paul Marshall. I am kind of interested to pick something else of hers up to see if it reads the same way or if I feel the same way about the story and the way that the story is written in another kind of perspective, if there are characters that are more likable than the characters in this story. And I've read stories and enjoyed stories that are full of characters that I don't like. And that's not to say that I didn't like the story. There are many aspects of the story that I really enjoyed. There are parts of it that are steeped in the history of the island of Triunion and Ursa's connection to that and her passion for that really spoke to me and that I really enjoyed. But then the things of her life that would be trivial, which is real life, but the things about her life that were trivial were kind of focused on more than that, because it's her story as she's making her way to the point where she ends up back in Triunion. So you have this knowledge of the history and these heroes of Triunion and why they're significant to a certain extent to the people from the Moorlands and why they are legendary in their custom, which their legend is like the U.S. black slaves Harriet Tubman legend, but on a much more vigilante side of the story, which I enjoyed reading about. I kind of wish we got more from that, because the story starts with her talking about her attempt to create her graduate or doctorate thesis on this historical background of the island, and getting denied by a professor who was white, who up until that point she thought liked her. Also, the difference between racism in Tri-Union and racism in the U.S., meaning that there's really not that much difference. It's just brought about in different ways. There's something that happens with her uncle right after she's born in the 60s civil rights South, and it completely turns her mother off from ever visiting home again, because her mother is from the U.S. and her mother does not come back to the U.S. after she goes and she visits her brother, and she sees how this has affected him and how the long-term impacts it will have on his life. So you also have that as well, the things that are racially motivated in Tri-Union and the negative things that are racially motivated in the U.S. as well. That part of the story, real life, and I liked, and it's still relevant today, especially right now. So anyway, having said all that, I don't know what I would rate this story. I am not doing star ratings in my reviews, but I am doing star ratings for myself, and I just really don't know what the hell I would give this story. I have no idea. Hopefully, as I think about it more and, you know, mull over it and add more to the review for myself that I wrote out that's rife with spoilers and the reasons why I can't stand some of the people or couldn't stand some of the people in the story, I will have a better understanding of it. But for right now, I don't know. That's all that I'm going to say on this today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.